Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are tackling a heavy one. We're looking at defining evil, but we're trying to strip away all the theatrics. You know, no pitchforks, no cosmic rebellion.
Right. We're looking at it through a much colder lens. Psychology, neuroscience, systems analysis.
And the sources we're digging into today argue that's the only way to actually understand it. As long as evil is some, mystical monster, we can't really do anything about it.
Exactly. It keeps it at arm's length. The core idea here really is that evil isn't a thing that possesses someone.
It's a pattern.
It's a pattern of behavior. It's a mechanism that's shaped by biology, by conditioning, and crucially, by the environment.
So it moves the question from, is that person a monster, to what allowed this to happen?
Yes. And when you look at the science, you immediately run into the big names in social psychology.
You mean Milgram and Zimbardo?
Milgram and Zimbardo.
Yeah.
The shock experiments, the Stanford prison simulation. Everyone sort of knows the headlines.
Right, but the takeaway is usually just, oh, people are sheep, and it's more complicated than that.
It's so much more nuanced. It isn't just blind obedience. A lot of what we call evil is actually situational compliance. It's about roles. It's what Albert Bandura called moral disengagement.
Moral disengagement. That sounds like a safety switch for your conscience.
That's a perfect way to put it. It's a cognitive trick. You reframe what you're doing. I'm just following orders, or I'm protecting my people so you can do something awful without feeling awful.
Okay, but if it's all just situational, then where's the responsibility? I mean, that feels like it lets people off the hook.
It's a fair question. And that's where the hard work comes in, the biology.
A neuroscience.
Yeah. We can actually see, in some cases, reduced activity in the amygdala, which processes emotion, or issues with the prefrontal cortex.
The brain's braking system.
The brain's braking system, exactly. For some people, those brakes are just. They're faulty. They have the impulse, but not the inhibition to stop it.
So we have the software, the moral disengagement, and the hardware, the brain itself. But the sources highlight a third layer that I think is the most unsettling.
Incentive structure.
Yeah, behavioral science. The simple fact that if a system rewards harmful behavior with, say, status or power or money,
the behavior stabilizes. It becomes durable. It's not about a corrupted soul. It's about a system that makes cruelty profitable.
Which brings us to this really clear three-part framework the source material offers. It defines evil as sustained willingness to cause harm.
I love that definition. It's so practical that takes all the spooky stuff out of it. And it has three very specific requirements.
Okay, so let's break them down. What's the first one?
The first is awareness. The person has to know they're hurting someone. If you're completely oblivious, you might be tragic or dangerous, but you aren't evil in this model.
Okay, so awareness is number one. Then what?
Number two is override. This goes right back to that brake system we were talking about.
So your conscience, your empathy, that little alarm bell goes off.
And you actively silence it. You hear it, and you make a choice to ignore it and push through.
And a third piece.
Stabilization. This isn't a one-time slip-up. The harmful act is protected, it's justified, or it's rewarded. The real hallmark of evil is the continuity of the harm, long after awareness is there.
This distinction really clarifies that whole tragedy versus evil idea. The text uses a hurricane as an example.
Right. A hurricane that destroys a city is a tragedy. A lion killing a gazelle is violent.
But neither is evil.
Because they lack moral cognition. There's no awareness. A hurricane doesn't know it's causing suffering. It has no capacity to choose to stop.
You can't override a signal you don't receive in the first place.
Precisely. Where harm happens without awareness, you have a tragedy. Where it happens with awareness and is then sustained, that's where you find evil.
So if we pull all of this together, the big takeaway for you listening is that evil isn't some entity we need to fight. It's a pattern.
It's a pattern that gets strong when the conditions are right for it, which means we should probably stop just hunting for bad apples.
And start looking at the basket they're in, at the systems that reward the override.
Yeah.
Which kind of leaves us with a pretty uncomfortable final thought, doesn't it? If evil is just awareness plus override, how often do we, in our own lives, engage in just a little moral disengagement to tolerate harms that, happen to benefit us?
That's a mirror not a lot of us want to look into. But maybe we should.
That's it for this deep dive. Thanks for listening.